Creating a simple web banner in Photoshop. Open Photoshop and choose File, New, and give your banner a sensible name that will reflect what it is. You need to then set your width and height, which should be in the default of pixels. It should be less than 1000 pixels. 9780 is great because it's divisible by 2 and 3, and a height of 110 is also pretty useful. Once you've got that, you get the blank version. You can see it doesn't fill the whole screen. You can also see, if you look down in the bottom left, that you're not seeing it at actual size because the actual size is too big for the screen. So if you keep it at 66%, you'll be able to see the whole of the image you're working with. Start by drawing a rectangle and just don't bother changing the colour, as we'll do that later. Just drag it over the whole of your background and it snaps to the right size. Then add a new layer and start to insert your images. In Photoshop, this is File and Place, and then I'm going to browse to the image folder which I have saved all of my images in and find my Castle View logo image. Once I've found the Castle View logo, I just double click it to insert it into my document, and it isn't final until I've selected the option to place it. So firstly I'm going to move it to the location I want it in, and when I'm happy with the position I've got it in and the size that I've got it at, I'm going to choose the selector tool and click on place. I'm now going to use the magic wand to select the white areas to delete them. When I press delete, it tells me I need to rasterize. So go to Layer, Rasterize Layer, and now press delete to empty out the white space behind the logo. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to insert my second image, which is my text, after deselecting my logo. So File, Place, and again it's going back to that folder where I've saved my images, and I can place this where I want to by moving it and then choosing the selector tool and clicking place. The last thing I want to do with this is change this background colour to be the matching colour for my logo. So I'm going to select the background and I'm going to click on my colour and then go and select it by clicking on the logo. Once I've done that, I'm going to select the paint bucket tool and just click in the layer to change the colour. Having looked at this now, I think that if I resize my logo slightly, I can make it a little bigger, and I could also perhaps add an effect by going over to my layers panel and choosing the FX button. The effect I'm going to be wanting to add is a kind of yellow glow around the sides. So FX, I'm going for outer glow, and I'm going to choose a colour from one of the yellows in my slogan by clicking on it again as we did earlier. There we are, that's the nice bright one, and click OK, and I'm just going to make that slightly bigger than the original size just to make my logo stand out in the same way that my slogan does. If I now take this up to 100% and have a look at it, you can see just how the glow is pulling out the logo, and we're ready to save it. So to save this, go to File, Save As, and you want to choose to save it to your images folder exactly as you did with the images you saved from the internet and already inserted into this one. What you should do before you save it is change the format from Photoshop to JPEG to ensure that it is ready to insert into a web page.